Hey y'all. So, I'm a little late. Been having some trouble with my computer or whatever. So I'm gonna give the notification a few minutes to go out. But happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody is doing good. No, Scott, I was not abducted. Hey, Cajun. Hey, Lavon. Scott said a little. I know, right? So, y'all, I got to get my tabs pulled back up because I had to restart my computer. So, I'm just giving people a few minutes to get in here. Hey, Emmanuel. Hey, Helena. How are you guys? Hopefully, y'all doing good. Let me get myself together because I had to get my computer started over. Is Caleb in here? I see him because I started the stream and my camera wouldn't pull up. Hey, Kay. I started the other stream and my camera wouldn't pull up, and Caleb gonna come in. It was literally probably like 30 seconds long, and he gonna come into some good stream, really. But all right, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Edward. Thank you, Water Sniper. Hey, Ernest. Yes, I'm super late. Don't charge it to my heart. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it together here in 1 second, but hopefully everybody is doing good. Let me make sure I can get my tabs pulled back up. My camera, for some reason, didn't want to work. So, we'll see what happens here. Cajun. Oh, okay. I need to put a reminder in my phone to remind me every week because I'm gonna do better. I am, y'all. I'm getting a little better at this, a little bit by little bit. Yes, Scott, we're gonna try to make it a full hour. I haven't been sleeping well lately, so I'm actually a little sleepy. So, but I'll try to do what I can. Let's see. And while everybody coming in the room, I'm just giving y'all a few minutes to get in here. And let me get page in his description box while I'm doing that. If you're new, but definitely let me know where you're from because I love to know where you guys are from. I be having people watching from all over. And thanks to the people who are always supporting me. Y'all are so appreciated. Lavon, you think I need a media crew? Well, right now, Cajun is my media crew. He helps me out a lot, and I'm so freaking appreciative. But honestly, like, I wish I could do a lot more because it's just so much that I want to do and say and research, and it does get kind of tricky with, you know what I mean, just having just so much going on. But let's see here. Okay, Helena, girl, I'm gonna put you to work, girl. I ain't got but 25 cents to pay you right now, but only time will tell. Helena says she'll be my publicist and my press speaker. Okay, let's see. I think we can definitely work something out. Hey, Dominique. Dominique is from Richmond, CA, the Bay Area. I be talking about y'all all the time, Dominique. I be having some stuff to say about the CA. Y'all gotta get right out there. Alright, let's see, y'all. Just give me a few more seconds. I'm letting people come in because I was late. We love a good country accent. They're trying to keep the truth from y'all. Elwood, isn't that always the case? Isn't that crazy? All right, Caden. So I think your description box should be good to go, if I'm not mistaken. So you might want to double check that. And then we're going to rock and roll and go ahead and get started since I came in kind of late tonight or whatever. But as some of you guys already know, there is a lot going on in Venezuela right now. So for several years, Venezuela has been going through basically a economic and political crisis. And so now we're at the point where, I believe the United States has basically been strong arming Venezuela to a certain extent, and Venezuela is in South America. But it's only so much you can do. So we're going to talk about it a little bit more. I'll tell y'all my thoughts. Y'all can tell me yours, whether you agree, whatever, and we'll let it rest at that. But let's start with Wikipedia, because I wanted to kind of give y'all a little background and basically get like some of the main points in there without missing anything. So I think this kind of tells a little bit about what's going on to get you caught up. But anyway, so this is from Wikipedia, crisis in Venezuela. So a socio-economic and political crisis that began in Venezuela during the pregnancy, oh Lord, during the presidency of Hugo Chavez has continued into the presidency of Nicolas Maduro. It is marked by hyperinflation, climbing hunger, disease, crime, and death rates, and massive immigration from the country. The situation is the worst economic crisis in Venezuela's history and among the worst in the world since 2014. On June 2010, Chavez declared an economic war because of the increasing shortages in Venezuela. The crisis intensified under the Maduro government, growing more severe as a result of low oil prices in early 2015 and a drop in Venezuela's oil production from lack of maintenance and investment. The government failed to cut spending in the face of falling oil revenues and has dealt with the crisis by denying it exists and violently repressing opposition. Political corruption, chronic stages of food and medicine, closure of companies, unemployment, deterioration of productivity, authoritarianism, human rights violations, gross economic mismanagement, and high dependence on oil have all contributed to the worsening crisis. Okay. So the contraction of national and per capita GDPs in Venezuela from 2013 to 2017 was more severe than in the United States during the Great Depression, blah, 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 blah. So this basically gives y'all kind of a little bit of a background into this. Hey, Hawaz. Hey, the writer. So, all right. So, y'all heard that, okay? When Chavez passed, he basically promoted, that's not the word I'm looking for right now, but it's the word I'm going to use, Maduro. And with Maduro in office, he was there for 6 years, and then he basically just got reinstated for another 6. Some people were saying that the voting was rigged or undermined or hijacked. And basically, you have this guy, Julian I forgot how to say his name, y'all. Julian Guaido. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Julian Guaido, something like that. Okay, who is basically, some people are calling it a coup, meaning that he is trying to currently overthrow the government with Maduro, but it has been hard to do because Maduro still controls the military, basically. Okay, so you have some people that are attributing this to a socialist country, right? Okay, but with that, sometimes with that, and even so more than that, you have very high rates of criminal negligence, high level corruption, and socialism. Okay, not only that, but also when when Venezuela was already in a decline, in an economic decline, you had the United States who placed these sanctions, I think maybe around 2015, if I'm not mistaken, that basically helped the economic climate decline even more. Okay. So I don't even know if you can say it's totally crashed. I mean, they haven't said it's just literally collapsed, but you have people eating out of dumpsters. We are talking about a complete welfare state. Like, the state provides everything from healthcare to literally water. You have people going to dirty rivers, okay, to find water. You have people that are starving, people that do not have access to medical care. So this is a very oh, excuse me, y'all. This is a very complex issue, a very sad issue, and a humanitarian crisis. Now, some things to consider, right? Because, I'm not completely sure where we get this idea that the United States basically has to be the big brother of the world, and kind of jump into everybody else's affairs. But recently, okay, the United States has been trying to send aid, which is said to be food, water, those type of like food aid, that was blocked by the Maduro administration. Okay, now, um, it is a lot to consider. I feel like a lot of times the world looks to the United States to be this golden light, this hero, and all these other things, this great humanitarian aid. But when we look at other situations, that does not always work like that. It has not always worked like that. You literally have these type of, and right now they're saying is not going to be a takeover, right? This is what they're saying, but really we don't know. Okay, the United States is strong arming them by continuing to put sanctions on Venezuela, so making it harder for them economically. And now you also have Trump, if you go read his tweets from today, threatening to also do the same to Cuba if they don't remove troops from the ground. Okay. But a few things to look at. First of all is failed takeovers and regime changes that the United States has aided in other countries. Okay, think Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Libya, where you currently have slavery going on, like literally slavery, people being bought and sold, um, literally being bought and sold, actual slavery because of failed regime changes. Oftentimes you have these politicians who they'll be in here for 4 years, 8 years, whatever. You do these changes, you start these things, like for example with Obama in Libya. You go into Libya, you say you're going in to set up this democracy, and then when your term is over, if that next president doesn't decide to take up, fix, rectify what's left there, what happens is you have these countries that are literally left in economic despair. It causes civil war. It could cause social chaos, a whole lot. And like, also you have Cuba, Russia, and China currently with boots in Venezuela. You have Venezuela that is in debt to Russia and China. Now, Trump had this whole, nationalism speech, sovereignty, this and that, even so much to the point where y'all remember the thing I talked about a couple of months ago where Trump basically came out speaking out against the UN and like their international global interests, okay? If you remember that, the UN backs Maduro. That the UN backs the current administration there. Why is the UN, that literally is a governing body to provide humanitarian rights, international rights, why does a burden not fall on them? Oh, and I'm glad you said that, Roland. Not even to mention, that reminded me, not even to mention that Venezuela has one of the biggest, literally biggest oil reserves, biggest oil producers, potential, whatever. And you literally have all these foreign interests there. You have a possibly corrupt political, well, I would say, if we literally see people eating out the freaking garbage cans and stuff like that. But you have this corrupt system. But literally, I think you should allow the will of the people and let the people do what they may. What happens is a lot of times you will have these people that vote in certain policies, or they aid leading their country into certain directions, not calling out corruption, not nipping it in the bud immediately, not being aware of these things, not seeing these things. And why this is so important and why people are trying to make an example out of Venezuela is because you literally have some of these same policies trying to be pushed here. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as well. Cajun said the United Nations is a BS organization to move money. How do I say long lived? Okay, Jerry said auto go and Libya disappeared, and there was a lot. Like, I just feel like, which one is it? You know what I mean? Like, I saw a lot of people getting frustrated or upset with the Pope for sending aid to the migrant caravans, right? But then you also have the United States sending food, same type of aid, right? You literally have the United States sending food to Venezuela, knowing it's going to be blocked. So let's start there. But also, you have, yeah, I put up a map earlier. I want to show you. Let me see if I still have it up. All the countries. All the countries. See, people like to look at the humanitarian perspective of things, and that's great. You know what I mean? That's good. I'm not saying people shouldn't care and act like people don't exist and be in some type of bubble, but you also have to look at the adverse effects and potential negative outcomes of things, okay? So you literally have Russia, China, and Cuba, okay? Currently in Venezuela. So you literally have Europe that I think was now they're trying to act like they're on the fence about um, the Maduro thing. Let me see. But this is pro Maduro. All of the countries in red. Now, but you have Trump that will say, you know, America first. We need to worry about America. What I want to tell y'all is that if the United States does decide to step in, you can that whole immigration argument. I'm telling y'all now, okay? You heard it here first. It's over with. You can throw it out the door because the moment the United States decides to step in, what you're gonna have is a lot of people that are automatically going to receive refugee status, even more so. Hey, Matt, even more so. That's what's going to happen. So all the talk about immigration, border walls, all that, it's over with. I mean, that's just that. Also, for the all the sources that I could find, Lord, I keep forgetting how to say this man's name. Guado. How did I forget to say his name again? Let me see. Julian. Sorry, y'all. Julian Guado. I think that's it. Guido. Something. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I think it's Guado. Guado. Am I saying that right? Anyway. But um okay. First of all, from all the sources I could find, he is also being reported to be socialist as well. From what I can tell, he was a little bit politically active as far as like going up against his government and Maduro, but relatively very unknown. Okay. Relatively very unknown. And so you basically have the United States coming out and saying, oh no, well, he's a real president. He's the only one that we are going to we're going to acknowledge. So if the whole structure doesn't change, if the entire like economic ideas, if they don't diversify and be open to free capital and marketing, is it really going to matter? And is it a risk that the United States wants to take? So to me, it's just too iffy. And then you have, you know, people basically saying Maduro's presidency is illegitimate, right? There was some, I guess, some talks of some type of tampering or something going on with the voting and stuff like that. I mean, just picture this. Just imagine. There are a lot of people, hundreds of thousands, who think and still claim to this day that Trump's presidency is illegitimate. In I mean, in so many words, you literally have people within the government trying to sabotage and overthrow this administration. Hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, they think the presidency is illegitimate. There was Russia meddling, tampering. The Russians didn't let y'all vote. All type of stuff. Now, can you just imagine some type of foreign government or foreign entity feeling like, regardless of what's going on here, feeling like they have the right to step in and be like, you know what? Regardless of several people backing the administration and several people being against it. That's just a very weird thought to me. I've never had to experience that, being in the place I was born, being in my home country and having to watch military personnel from other countries walk by and be under their rule and their control. Like, so where does it stop? When do these countries have to be responsible for themselves? Like, I feel, honestly, it's a big concern. It is a humanitarian crisis, but it's not as, people always try to just throw these one type of one level of very simple, oh well, we'll just go in there and fix it. We'll just bring them democracy. But it's really not that. It's really not that simple, and it's not always an easy fix as people try to make it out to be. Michael says not just all gold and coltan are abundant there. Coltan is a rare earth mineral used in communications and military applications. I'm sure glad you broke that down for me, because I was just about to say, what the heck is coltan? But I'm just not, because of the things that I've seen in other countries, I'm not a big government interference type person, okay? Especially when I still believe that the United States and some of these other countries have had their own selfish motives and interests, okay? There might have been, I don't know. We don't know. I'm also reading articles where it says that a lot of people there, they want Maduro out, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they want a regime change. Like, that's not what they're asking for. And a lot of people are assuming it has to be one or the other, but not necessarily so. Levon said the U.S. does a change within for a generation longevity. And then just imagine, right? Like, just imagine if we did that, how long we would have to be there. You know what I mean? So interference is interference regardless. Regardless. And like, so y'all tell me, some of y'all tell me y'all opinion. At what point is it okay to interfere? And when I ask this question, keep in mind I'm also asking about other countries interfering in America's affairs as well. At what point? Because a lot of times, okay, we're talking about sovereignty. So don't think superior. Don't think I'm just talking about America imposing their will on other countries. I'm literally talking about other countries as well having the right to invade America when they see fit. So what would that line be to y'all? To me, I think it should be as little interference as possible. Yep. That's exactly how I feel. Will Moore said no matter what the USA does, it can't win. Error on the side of being humanitarian, feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, works of mercy. Like, my thing is, like, you can't help everybody. And the UN seems to be some sham under the guise of, uh, human rights. And if the UN isn't stepping in, Cajun said, let the place burn down. Now, I wouldn't say all that. Paul said, it's no point, stay out of it. That doesn't mean they want the US in. Exactly. How I said Trump will listen to Ron Paul, no intervene, and fire Bolton, and maybe Pompeo too. Michael said, just like we have different economic, social, education levels, so do the Venezuelans. The Guado opposition represents the class that was voted out in 1988 by Chavez. Now those people won't back in. Exactly. Cajun said they chose socialism, let them fix their own problems. So this is the thing. And this is why this discussion is like important to us, because sometimes people be like, why do you care? First of all, stop telling me what to care about, is number one. We'll start there. But second of all, why this conversation is really important is because you literally have Venezuela who has seen suppression of the media. They've seen gun bans, and they've also seen the complete welfare state, okay? Funded healthcare, food, education. Now, even though I'm not sure, and I haven't really seen so far, I think right now Trump is going to kind of toe the line as far as really just using this to point at the Democrats right now, socialist Democrats, quote unquote, or socialists. right now because, it's at a very, it's kind of like at a climax right now. Everything that's going on, it's a big chaos going on right now. Um, but literally, y'all know this is gonna come up going into 2020. This really helps nail down a lot of the things that he's been saying. He's going to use this. You literally just today and yesterday have people like Kamala Harris and, if I'm not mistaken, Representative Omar too, Senator Omar as well. But I know Kamala Harris for sure calling for gun bans. When you see these videos of people in Venezuela getting run over by the military and the government with Tonka trucks, seriously, the gun ban happened. I don't even know how many years ago, like maybe like eight. I don't even know if it's been that long, like 8 to 10 years ago, but completely have banned guns, okay? Um, And so, exactly. Hey, ABL. ABL said Venezuela is the United States in the future if we don't stop it. Literally, every single thing they've tried to push, okay? We'll feed you. We'll give you water. We'll take care of you. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll keep you safe. Now you get ran over with trucks by your own government. Like, literally. People protesting, rightfully so. And this is what you have. And how people can sit here and push the same exact type of legislation in the face of things like this. And we already, I don't understand the level of trust that a lot of y'all have for politicians. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. And so to think that politicians, oh, that won't happen in America. Politicians aren't that corrupt in America. It's like, do y'all trust them or do y'all not? I don't trust politicians with my life. Like, I really don't. Especially particularly seeing what they've done within the Black community. I don't trust them. They continue to try to suppress rights and call it freedom. Okay. Like, so what is there to trust? Then the laws that you do have disproportionately target and affect Black people and poor people. You have droves of people, middle class, leaving places like California, leaving places like San Diego, leaving places like New York. They're telling people, oh, we're going to raise minimum wage to $15. And then they drop your hours if you don't get fired. And so these are the things people have to look at. Like, people need to stop listening. Oh, that sounds good. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times stuff does sound good. I've told y'all that. I've been a victim of that. And I'm sure we all are to some extent, because initially when you're constantly hearing stuff over and over again, and it's being repeated to you, and I'm like, well, shoot, I mean, hey, I wouldn't mind losing some of my college student loan debt either. You know what I mean? That sounds good. But when you think about who's going to pay for it, how are they going to pay for it, something that people never consider is how people leave areas, okay? Rich people, wealthy people have access to move, to change their locations. So for some reason, that never comes up in a discussion, and it negatively impacts middle class people. It's crazy. Let me tell y'all this. It's literally crazy because you can go on YouTube, you can go online, and you can actually find videos of Venezuelans, okay? The low income Venezuelans, some of them actually saying, oh, well, we get food, we get water. I mean, we're being taken care of. And I'm like, oh my God, like the programming is so real. Like it's so real. Like some people don't even realize. And I feel like if that's what you want, out of your government, and if that's what you think your government should look like, have at it. And I don't think the United States should interfere in it. I mean, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? I look at people in California and I feel bad for a lot of people in California. I feel bad for a lot of people in San Diego. But then you literally have people in freaking Africa that will walk one country to the next for the chance at a better life. And you telling me you can't move a couple states over? Like, people are going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something. Either you're going to vote differently, you're going to move, or you're going to level up where you are or suffer. That's just that. But, you know, this is why a lot of people are very adamant about the gun rights, personal freedoms. Oh my God, I'm going to have to link some of the videos that I watched today below. But literally, they are following people in Venezuela. If I'm not mistaken, they have like these little cards that are assigned to them so they can basically keep up with their social media, watch everything they're saying, their political affiliations. Y'all think that's not happening here to some certain extent? I almost did a video on this, but I ended up not doing it. But I'll tell y'all now since we're here. But this was just weeks ago. What was the company? It was a big company. Was it a big company? Anyway, some company did some type of experiment where they use face recognition to pinpoint people's whole day. This happened in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go find the story. I'll put it on my community tab later. But literally using facial recognition. And I used to get so creeped out about this stuff, y'all. Like, I used to get so creeped out about it. Like, literally, as a matter of fact, I had a friend who took just a random picture, right? He took a picture of like a landscape, some trees and stuff like this, and sent it to his homeboy. His homeboy posted the picture on Facebook, and Facebook tagged the original guy that took the picture. There were no faces in it, no nothing. Just a landscape picture. So that's like, if I took a picture with my phone, I sent it to you, a landscape picture, no faces, nothing. You post it on your Facebook and then it tags me. It tags my name. All of this information it has our footprints on it, y'all. Like, it's so. But anyway, like I was saying about Venezuela. So some of these things on a lower level are already happening here. People like me are being censored. I don't know why, little old me. I mean, but so we have to be way more cognizant of really just not just seeing stuff on the surface level. I was really bad about that. And I'm not even saying I'm the best now, because like a lot of this stuff I'm still learning, and I'm constantly learning, and we're always being hit with information. But it's so easy to just accept what we're being bombarded with. This is best for you. This will work best for you. you should do this. This will be great for you, without really seeing, oh, that'll be great for me. Let me see where else it worked. Let me see what would be the upside and the downside of it. Let me see how that will both positively and negatively impact me. Let me see other people who have what's the word I'm thinking for? It's coming to me. I still don't got it. Hey, Daryl. But let me see other people who this has helped. Yesterday I did a bill on uh the whole Born Alive thing. I talked about that again. And I've told y'all, like, I just accepted what I was told about abortions. A lot of times, like, do y'all ever talk to people and you notice that, if you ask them, tell me about your position, explain to me how you feel about this, and they literally use the same exact wording as the talking points of the mainstream media, that's very common, and it leads me to believe that you haven't came to your own rationale. And let me explain it like this, right? So, when you used to write a paper in college, right? And have you ever wondered, like, oh, that's a good example, you girl. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see if I can put it like this. Were you ever in college, right? And you had to write a paper and you read the information and your teacher wanted you to cite your sources and you said, well, how am I going to write my paper and not say what the source said, right? Like, how am I going to be able to do that because I'm reading the source? Well, the trick to it is that once you understand something, right? Once you actually understand it and you process it and you rationalize it, you are able to verbalize it from your own perspective. Did that make sense, y'all? Hey, Manny. Literally, did you ever struggle with writing papers in college? After reading sources, and it's like, I know what it said, but I have that in my head now. That's because you haven't fully grasped the actual concept to where you're able to verbalize it, internalize it, really say how you feel. So oftentimes you have people who would just repeat the exact words. And I talk about like these, I call them trigger words. But these, you're right, John. I can agree with that to a great extent. But Manny said I've never struggled, but I wrote BS. I did that a couple times as well. But what was I saying? But yeah, back to my point. So if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, make sure you definitely go back and see that. But all this time, my thoughts on abortion was always legal, sane, and rare. Why don't control a woman's body? Don't be misogynistic. Let a woman choose. I would have been perfect for your nightly CNN news segment, which I think. Anyway, but the fact of the matter is literally, y'all, just recently I'm really even understand what the heck even happens during the procedure of an abortion. And so we are literally asking people all across America to pick or decide on positions, have a definitive position on things that they don't even quite understand. And I'm still learning. And there are some things that I'm not 100% on my perspective about. This is a learning phase for me, a growing phase. Learning, unlearning, relearning. But now that I am informed, I can say my own position from my own perspective, and I don't need anybody else's talking points to do that. So, oh my God, Lenny, you are so right. Lenny said ignorance is bliss. You are so absolutely right. Because I remember I think, was this before or after I made my walk away video? And I was just hit with a overwhelming feeling of, oh my God, what do I do now? How do I feel? I feel like ostracized, different. You know what I mean? I feel like I just had a lot of emotions. I had this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of loneliness. Like, who can I talk to? But you will be surprised. You will be surprised. You will be surprised, man. I have gotten like overwhelming support in places that I would have never even thunk it. I have gotten a lot of people saying, you know what I mean? You know that stuff you say, a lot of other people think it too. They just don't say it. And then to top it off, of course, y'all have been so freaking supportive and helpful. But yeah, it's been a journey, and like you just never know. And so I'm sure y'all don't agree with me on everything, and that's fine. What I like is productive discussions. I was over there on O'Shea's channel last night. We were talking about Pookie and Ray Ray and gentrification. And I could really appreciate civil discourse. I'm not one to debate. I don't know. I don't like that kind of energy. And it really doesn't say much or do much. So, but thank you, Lenny. But so we will be on alert to see what happens in Venezuela. I particularly hope that the US doesn't intervene. But at the very least, just, food, water, if possible, but a regime change, I do not agree with. I just don't, in good conscience. If I wouldn't want that to happen here, I wouldn't want Russia or Cuba or China uh, rushing in here saying, well, Trump is a illegitimate president, and Russia meddled in y'all's election, so we must fix this. I mean, I'm all the way around. It's the same. It doesn't change. So at some point, now that is not to be misconstrued with the people standing up and fighting for their rights. Don't confuse the two, because I completely support that, and I will always support that. So don't confuse those. I stand behind any people that have grievances with their government. I feel like if you have grievances with your government, you handle it. You do what you need to do depending on the level of threat. You handle it how you need to handle it. You band with the people, because a government works for us. It's not supposed to be the other way around. And a lot of these governments, they overstep their bounds. And sometimes they do need to be brought down. They do need to be brought down. And so that's just it. But we will see what happens. Hopefully YouTube will not suppress this video. Y'all know how they be doing. Hey, make sure y'all like the video and give me thumbs up so the video can get out. Please do that for me. Thank y'all for always supporting me. I was late today, but it's all good. Y'all still came in and hung with me or whatever. So, but thank you, How Wise Black America First. We'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. But thank y'all. Scott, I'm like an hour, so I did good. But all right, y'all, have a good night, and we will talk soon. Bye.